know you all my life. Um, and you were, when I only remember you this way, but from your book, The Internal Makeover, I get to see a side of you that either I've never met before or I was too young to remember.
And probably too young to remember, but go ahead.
More than anything. But that actually introduced me to a lot of things that I either didn't know about you, or I was just like, wow, that as a young adult and somebody who's trying to get into the field of entertainment, and most of the book is about your time in the entertainment industry. In the book, there's a chapter where you discuss your date with God. After you had a long day, people in the industry were getting on you, and as you've told me many times before, it's ruthless. People will stab you in the back and then smile on your face. So you were talking about your date with God and how God had you go downtown to a city that you really didn't know, and said, okay, buy this and do that and get you some bath salts and have a nice bubble bath, order some nice Chinese food, and just relax, just listen to music and sit with God. And as a young adult, I find myself sometimes having those days where I feel like I need to just sit with God. So my first question to that chapter is, how do you know God's voice? How do you know when it's God speaking?
As corny as this may sound, I found out the hard way that it wasn't so much listening to this great voice like they have on television, or waiting for the sky to crack open. It was actually the Word of God that cracked open for me. And it was mind-blowing in the sense that when I one day asked God to pray from my heart, not just with my lips, but from my heart, I really want to know what you're saying to me. I want to have a conversation with you. And he took me to I am the truth, the way, and the life. And how he said it to me, though, was, I am the truth. This is Jesus. And I am the way to the lifestyle, to living. And this light bulb went off for me. And then I asked another question, and he answered that question. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm having a conversation with God. This is like awesome. So that's when I realized that when he says that he is the living word, the Bible is actually him speaking to me and correcting me, not just telling me all the goosebumpy sweet things, but correcting me, instructing me, showing me, you know what I mean? I'm actually having a conversation with God himself. And it is just amazing to me. And when I have this conversation with him, I start to see things from his perspective and no longer seeing things from Sharon's perspective. And when I look at things through the lens of God, I see the world differently. I see people differently. I even view myself differently. I realize that the way that the world raises people into be great, which there's nothing wrong with being great. But when I started having conversations with God, he became my friend, but not my friend in the place of a disrespect. But it's almost like having a wise friend and you're young, and you have this 100-year-old friend who is not somebody you go to the club with. That's not somebody you go skateboarding with. You know. That's not, it's a different type of friendship. It's a reverence. They love me. I love them. You know what I mean? I enjoy gleaning from them. And then they turn around and listen to what I have to say and make me feel like I'm important. And it's awesome in knowing those types of experiences. So in that type of scenario, realizing that God is having this conversation with me through the Word. The Word is God coming alive to me. Now, to somebody else, it's a good read. You know, I can never see what God is saying just through me reading. He has to reveal the directions are in the revelation. They're in those light bulb moments. And that only comes as I start to walk out what he's talking to me about. So that's how I get to walk in the Spirit. because he's spirit. I'm, and my spirit man walks with him through my life. So I'm learning more about his voice even now. I've been in relationship with God for over 20 years now, and walking kingdom for 20 years. And in that walk, I'm still learning, still growing, still learning his voice.
Can you clarify the statement you made previously about Obama and his stance on abortion and gay marriage?